flipping signs saying "Go Haiti, go Haiti,"
Mm-hmm.
because all of these ceremonies and these like sports events with all this yellow, that's because they giving the Oshun not the okay.
Oh, okay.
So when Haiti get the message, they do their ceremony and they turn this shit into Mardi Gras everywhere.
Oh wow. Looking forward to that.
Me too. It's gonna be everywhere. That's why they was talking about the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the kings hit the land, you're not gonna be able to stop them people from crossing the border. They coming.
Right. Right.
It's now in our history when we have this happen before. They always try to stop the people from coming from the north to the south and coming from the south to the north. They always try to stop that. That's part of the process when you closing out the age,
Right.
right? So you pushing against the forces of nature, and then forces of nature push back harder. That move the energy in the direction it's supposed to go.
Right. Mm.
Yeah. So we know what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta now do what we can to get the. I did a documentary to give a detailed description of what's going on energetically and what it has to do with Haiti around the world because the Haitians sent soldiers to fight in the Gullah Wars that was riding that revolutionary energy.
Mm.
So when they had to close it out in Florida first, and now Haiti has to call the ocean Sweetwaters back, which calls back the people who opened the conjure to begin with state recognition. We know who they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So they can get their honors once they do their ceremony down there to call Oshun, which is also calling them back to get their honors. That's what changes all of the energy.
Mm. Okay. So there's nothing in particular, like there's no like seconds, like there's no trick, nothing triggers it, or what? Or is the trigger with more people waking up to what's going on?
It's going to be the catalyst to the global awakening.
Okay.
See, Haiti is the ground zero for the global awakening,
Mm.
right? So once they pop, it's like a nuclear explosion. Everybody gonna start waking up.
I want to see that excitement. That's what I that's what I'm waiting
Yeah,
for.
because it's freedom finally comes
Yeah.
after a long drawn out process of suffering and oppression.
Yes. I can remember working and I remember writing in my journal. I was at work and I was writing in my journal. I felt this overwhelming feeling of like doom. Like I'm just like, I can't keep doing this. It was so heavy on me. I'm just like, this can't be it. Just working and paying bills. Like, this can't be it.
We supposed to be going to visit all the other tribal communities of the world. The women supposed to be getting trading cooking secrets and shit and all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever kind of different cultural things that they want, we're supposed to chaperone women around the world to meet their sisters around the world.
Mm-hmm.
They cut the global network off and divide and conquer,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now we coming out to divide and conquer. We got to get back to the women feeling comfortable enough to be around the sisters so that they can identify the frauds. They see they've been so traumatized by the frauds that some women can't tolerate other women.
Right.
That's part of the conjure,
Right.
right? So to get past that, they have to learn to trust other women again. And after what they probably went through in a prior life, it's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the doula center serves so many purposes for the community. I was surprised that Earth allowed them to remove them and replace them with these hospitals. Because at the doula center, they help to do the women's group that use mitochondrial love energy to heal each other in a group.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what the sister Hydea was doing with the goddess glow up. And that's why I always get that as a reference because she already doing it and then you can go look at what she's doing and you can see what it looked like.
Right.
And for the sisters really in tune, not only will they see it, they'll feel it.
Mm.
And they'll say that's what I need to do for my healing, and then they'll either organize their own or participate in her next session.
Right. And that's what also helps with the healing or like trauma from past. Yeah.
Yeah. When you turn the mitochondrial up, it's like just like turning the healing on.
Mhm.
The placebo effect then gets multiplied by thousands when enough women is congregated in that energy.
Mhm.
That's part of the Sybil effect.
And it
You know.
only takes that one time, or is it something that happens over like in a as for process, or does it just take
Well,
like?
the women can turn it up in enough places on the planet where when you leave, the other women that's vibrating on that frequency help keep your energy up,
Okay.
right? And then the fact that they have on men, some of them women gonna love that shit.
Right.
They gonna love that shit. But when you don't know how to use your feminine energy to positively affect a man, then you don't know what you're missing in your
Mhm.
relationship.
Mhm. Yeah. So I have one question. Well, another question. My aunt would always tell me that I look just like her mom, and as a child growing up, I'd never understand. I would always hear her say it, but I never understood it. And then once, as I was an adult, she sent me a picture, and I literally look just like her. And
Was
I
she
just
gone before you was born?
no, no. But we weren't close to her though. Like it seemed it's a lot of unsettled things going on
Yeah,
on my mom's side. So
yeah. There's a lot of families like that. They gotta clean
mhm,
that shit up.
okay. And I
Everybody
felt
gonna have to. Yeah, they gonna have to face it sooner or later.
yeah. I feel like we're so close. I feel like I get these uploads or whatever, and one time like my entire crown chakra was just lit up one night, and I was getting all these messages, and it was from my mom because she passed away too, and it was from my grandma, and clear as day, like she was literally telling me, giving me information to tell other people. And then I feel like now that my aunt she wants to put together a family group, and it just seems very like small talk. And I want to be the one to just be like, okay, who needs to say something, get something off their chest. Cause I just feel like it's just like, good morning. Hey, how's it going? Just like small stuff. But I feel like there's like so much stuff that needs to just
But
be,
instead of people trying to get it off their chest, they talk about what if we heal from this.
mm,
To put it in the quality or the probability of healing increases the possibility of the healing. So
mm-hmm,
instead of just dumping what's on your chest off your chest, say, let's see if we can heal from this. And this is the
right.
thing I want us to, this you confront generational curses.
Yeah, definitely.
Personality quirks are natural, but to stay in the long term divisive family feud, that's not natural.
Mm-hmm,
It's natural that you the same age as your cousin, and every time y'all trying to outdo each other when you get to Big Mama house, and then y'all try to make teams. That's natural.
mm-hmm,
But to get in y'all 30s and y'all still trying to keep the teams up instead of joining forces, that's not natural.
right.
Because the natural progression of life is supposed to teach you the value of family and the value of family unity and the strengths that come with it. So then the petty beefs, all of those fall to the side. The most
Mm-hmm,
traumatic ones for us going to be to heal from is that secret squirrel in the family sexual abuse.
yeah.
That's going to be the hardest one to heal from. Because don't nobody want to admit their favorite uncle is a pedophile.
Mm-hmm,
Or their favorite auntie, for that matter.
mm-hmm.
Some of them do it
Wow.
too.
Okay, okay, so it must be something because since you brought that up, that has happened on my in my dad's side, but not it happened on my dad's side. And I feel like the person that did it, they tried to see where my head was at, and I'm like, "Oh no, this shit ain't going down." And to me, it's not even the fact of like, "Oh, I knew that you did it to other people and now you did it to me. It's about like the fact that he still feels like he can do it. So I want to know, like, how I was trying to figure it out was like, okay, should I? I've already told his wife
Before
about
they
it.
destroyed the sisterhood, they used to have a gathering of mothers,
Mhm.
right? And to discuss how they would deal with it. And his age is always a key factor,
Mhm.
right? Because you expect a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old to do something, but you don't expect the same behavior out of a 30-year-old,
Right.
right? So the mothers would use that as a gauge, the tool, and then they go over his history and his family history to find out how best to help him, or if we just need to get rid of him.
Mm. So
But
you're saying
normally,
that?
normally
Go ahead.
by the time he got in his mid teens, the women be to figured out what men to put him around to give him proper instructions about women and children.
What if he's not a part of the blood family? He's an outsider who just married into the family.
That
Is that?
it don't matter.
Oh,
It don't matter if he's still in the family. He around the same family kids.
right.
He still got to be dealt with. You
Right.
can't keep that shit a secret,
Mhm.
right? This is why. Okay, so this is what's been going on in our community, and I've watched it in many different families while I was growing up, and I couldn't understand why they was doing it.
Mhm.
But the adults that abuse the child, right? They don't say nothing to them, and then they shame the child into silence and tell them they can't tell the good man that the bad man did something to him.
Mhm.
Right now, the justification was that if somebody corrected the bad man, then he gonna go to the other bad men, and they gonna come back and they gonna lock his ass up. So the women trying to keep the good man around end up protecting the bad man, but it keep hurting the children.
Mhm.
It creates the cycles. Instead of fixing him when he young, my father said you been a willow when it's little, because when that motherfucker grown, it don't be in much,
Mhm.
right? So you teach them the etiquette and the behavior of how to treat people and how to respect the youth because that's the future, and they
Right.
won't abuse the children when they become adults. But when you covering that shit up because they was kissing on their little cousin, and you trying to cover it up for him and never correct him, he can't never get that behavior corrected when he's young enough,
Mhm.
right? So that shit got to stop. You can't. We ain't finna do that. We not finna do that secret squirrel shit
Mhm.
because the children just keep getting hurt over and over again, and the bad man keep being in a position to do it because don't nobody want to tell the good man that the bad man doing bad things to the good kids.
Mhm.
And now he's creating monsters out of hurt people, hurt people.
Mhm.
The way that you hurt me, the way that I'm gonna hurt somebody else type shit.
Right.
So you got to know how to stop that shit. That was
And
taught. That's Roman in origin. Their philosophy is the greatest love between a man and a boy.
mm,
But it goes back to Babylonian sex magic and Talmudic priesthoods sanctioning the abuse of Goyim children. That's where it traced back to its origin, where
right.
it became part of the religious institutions and the priesthoods. And that's why don't matter which religion you get in, all the priests is touching on kids
Mhm.
in every religion, right? Because that's what the root of the religion is. The
Right.
Babylonian sacrificial rites or the
Mhm.
sacraments is what they call them.
Mhm.
And the sacraments is the blood rites and the blood rituals. So when we had to go to a conjure war, it was because Big Mama said there was too much blood being spilt on the soil. And she said Mother Earth was crying. So she said, y'all figure out, make it into a spiritual war, take it off the earth.
Mhm.
And that's how you get in the conjure war. So now we win the conjure war for the explicit purpose of cleaning the family trees up.
Right.
So we start doing um, training at the doula center. They the ones who teach you the family um, um, arbitration. right? Because the family member need to correct the family first before you throw them to the state. The state is for the ones that can't nobody fix,
Right.
right? So that's why you have different levels of jurisdiction over the youth. Conjure war mean that you use spiritual rituals and practices in order to fight a war that would otherwise be fought with blood and guts.
Mm. Mm. I'm so glad I decided to get on. Oh my gosh, that really put a whole different perspective on this. Wow,
You see
I
that
appreciate
comment I
you.
put? That's like that's anybody that do research on these missing children. This is the same data that they're gonna come to.
Hmm.
This the same. All this is the same data I came to.
Yeah. So just to be clear, for that particular subject, as far as the violation of in the family, you're saying that it should, back in the day it was dealt with through the women, but now what about now? Is it still, should it
The
still be dealt
women
with the
would
same
pass
way?
the guy over to the men if they needed the man to correct him.
Oh, okay.
Normally, when the women's correcting me because it's a child, when it's an adult, they normally say, "Okay, um, pass this over to this elder because if they give it to her daddy, he gonna overreact. But if you give it to her uncle, he gonna react accordingly."
Hmm.
They know the nature of us and which one of us to assign to go correct that motherfucker.
Right. Okay.
Like they not gonna send me. I'm the last one they gonna send. When they send me, they already know what to expect, so they're not gonna send me.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
they'll send one of my brothers because they're gonna get a different approach to the problem.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
All right, sweetie, I'm gonna let you drop down and I'm gonna take another caller in, okay?
All right. Good night.
I'm not sure. Are you familiar with Mount Kenya?
In Kenya?
Yeah, the mountain they call Mount Zion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of affiliated with the ambassador of Mount Kenya. So I've been following him. Um, and it's funny because I got, I want to say put on, but I was on
He was
Facebook.
he was the one who gave us the report when they said they was about to send some motherfucking wham wham over to them about Black Panther, right? He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like on the front of the reporting on that.
yeah,
The guy you talking about?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I know you're talking about. I was gonna make sure I'm on the same page with
Yeah, so it's funny. So back in, I probably got put on to you back in, I want to say about 2020. And it's kind of crazy because my dad had died in August. And you kind of look like him a little bit. You got kind of that
you.
same I gotta put it like the speech. Like y'all got that same type of voice. Like it's like kind of low, but it's very impactful. Like when you talk, like it ain't no playtime type situation. So I kind of gravitated towards that. And then just the stuff you were speaking on, it was kind of related to the things I was going through, should I say? Um, so like my dad died probably a week before his birthday, because his birthday was August 18th, and
My
I actually
father,
went.
August 21st.
Yours August 21st.
My father.
Your file, see. So I actually went to Kenya that year to go to the mountain uh, of August 2020, and there was a
That's
lot
the
of
real holy mountain. The fake holy mountain is in the Middle East,
right,
and they call that one Mount Zion too.
right.
But it's the mountain from the imposters.
But that's the one in Israel. You saying that's the imposters?
That's where the imposters came in. The Mount Kenya is the real holy mountain. Them motherfuckers up there got the real keys to the motherfucking conjure.
Right.
They can manipulate the energy faster than most of these machines. You up there dealing with the real masters. That's where the Egyptian priesthood studied with them.
Right. Yep. So that's basically, you know, what I've been on, just trying to help spread the message, spread your message. You know, free Larry Hoover. Um, you know, free all the chiefs of the land. Uh, and I've been on the same type time everybody else. You know, that understand what's going on, trying to get, you know, the information together. I've been trying to work on getting my genealogy together because I got people in my family that spoke on one of my great grandmoms. She spoke on how, you know, we had native lineage, but it's kind of cut off. Just, you know, trying to get back and talking to certain people.
So, we got some invites to do. Food all on my face. We got some invites to do, and then we're gonna get into the video. I got a couple people. I got guests coming in, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna do my first invites, and then I'm gonna pull the guests in. I selected the title, "Reviewing the Roots of the Work." The roots of the work is basically another way of saying cash in the receipt. The roots of the work is at the core of it. What did you do? Okay, so I just named it that. It seemed kind of appropriate for who we have as guests because we dealing with the Haitian Revolutionary Conjuring, the closing of it, right? So I'm bringing you a research. And what it do, Teddy? We gonna take this from there.
Peace and blessings, Alafia. Peace and blessings, everyone. How y'all doing tonight?
Man, I love the shit out that hat, man.
Man, I appreciate. I've been getting some crazy reviews on it, especially in Mississippi.
Yeah,
I hat place. They gave me a bunch of hats and asked me to do some of their hats now. So that's kind of funny. How you doing, guy? How you doing?
for them to ask you that, it's a reason. That they ain't just ask you just to be asking you. So y'all got to pay attention because he didn't went back to the Holy Land, the real Holy Land, and these hats all mean something different. He got on the top hat. So when you went down there, they was looking at you as the Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter is one of the brothers that to come to tear shit up. Because you know who wear the top hat.
Yeah.
The Baron wear the top hat.
Yeah.
Ledford wear the top hat. Right? And sometimes Ogun wear the top hat. But when you wear that top hat, yeah. So they probably thought you was the Mad Hatter that gave you all them hats.
Everywhere I go, you know, I don't take credit for nothing. Bobby Hemmett was the one that initially put me on it. Hold on, before we do anything else, I noticed you're live. Whenever you're ready. But
stop. Do what you're doing. I gotta follow through with that. That's a call from the ancestors for y'all that don't know.
I stay. For all the known and unknown ancestors, for all the known and unknown revolutionary teachers that have been teaching us from Dr. George Washington Carver, Bobby Hemmett. There's so many more, but I always want to say something. We got to show love to our ancestors and all the great teachers, known and unknown. I say. And most definitely respect to you, OG, for the knowledge you're putting out there for us. The Phoenix, who's going to be on here shortly. I say. I'm sorry, what we saying now?
Oh, you good? We going into what you own. Well, I was going into a little bit of the topic because I named it reviewing roots out of work. You know, when you work the conjure, they call it working the root. Right. So what everybody, all of the people that keep accusing me of casting conjures don't know how dumb they sound. I came to make the motherfuckers who had open conjures close that shit. Why would I open one up at the close of the age, which is an asinine thing to do? So that lets you know that they don't even know what the fuck they talking about.
Or option two, they agents. I've noticed something. I've been noticing a lot of people being in the live don't really be for it. But it's a trillion things you could be doing while you're here unless you're an agent. So some people they just try to just talk. People don't even have knowledge anymore. You just talk to hear some talk. You know what I'm saying? And they missing everything. Sometimes with the word, like they getting caught up in messages, they getting caught up in all this. But you just find you something to do. You know what I'm saying? Ever since what you asked me to do, I did it. And when I did it, I can tell you for myself, for my business, for my family, things change immediately. I can't go into like paraphrasing it in 5 minutes, but when I tell you, I was just walking through communities and people were just acting real different to me, whether they've seen any of my videos or not. They were just responding to me different. When I went to New Orleans, it wasn't 5 minutes. You can ask anybody. It wasn't 5 minutes into New Orleans, but people approached me like, "Yo, pop the trunk. We want whatever you got." You see what I'm saying? When I go to Mississippi, the white folks open the door for me. How can we help you, sir? You know what I'm saying? So what you said came true, and we just got to get back into our rituals. And tonight is a powerful, powerful full moon. I think that we let so many full moons and eclipses pass us. I'm not saying that you're supposed to utilize every single one of them, but we really need to start tapping into our rituals more. And what you did to help me, and the rituals you was explaining to me, and I did it. I saw immediate results. No cap, no lie, no pun intended. So appreciation.
In order to be able to move that energy, you had to be spiritually strong, so to speak. Your rank high in the spirit, your spiritual essence strong. You're gonna see immediate results. And then they wouldn't have had you put in the work you did 200 years ago, right? Or 250 years ago, if they thought you wasn't going to be able to close it out now.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? So when everybody is called, they can't use half-assers. When you finna do something this big, you can't use half-assers. The only thing the half-assers can do is half-ass their way out the way. Because they only in the way. So now, when you know, that's why I keep reiterating it over and over. All of the masters you read about in the books is back.
I see.
They all back. Every last one of them. They back.
You know what's funny? In the prophecies, all those prophecies, they're saying the exact same thing. They're coming back. They're coming this. I was on the phone with I'm in out here in New Orleans with Sister Jada. I'm out in Mississippi now, but she was saying that if you look at these prophecies, I ain't gonna say too many words because my Facebook just got banned for saying too much. But all of them saying the same thing, that the ones that are prophesying in these prophets' names or these so-called prophets' names are gonna be the real ones. That's what they say in the Quran. That's what they say in the Torah. That's what they say in the Bible. And there'll be a time where the prophet Yahshua will say, "None of y'all, I don't know none of y'all." And this was only but 2,000 years ago. So who was he talking about? Like clearly he's saying, I don't know nothing. So I don't try to debate with none of these people. I don't try to explain nothing because we're trying to debate. It's not intelligent to debate with the ones that they're saying are the agents. The Quran specifically said that the desert Arab is the worst Muslim.
Yeah. The Bedouins, the word that they use for desert Arab in the translation is Bedouin. Muhammad said the Bedouin is the worst of the unbelievers. Because they stand in your face and say, yes, we believe.
And in their heart, they don't. Until you own it. Yeah, that's our deep right now.
Yeah. He say, but they shirk.
I say
they hypocrites.
Hypocrite.
They bearing false witness. They are kafarun, considering what they know to be true. The munafiqun. Right? So they be having motherfuckers cute. Like they had Salman Rushdie, they stabbed him 30 years later. They couldn't find him because he was hiding from them. 30 years later, he doing the live speech. I think he was over here somewhere in the States, probably New York, and they stabbed him. The same motherfuckers that's calling you a hypocrite is being hypocritical. Now make this shit make sense. They say they follow the sunnah of the prophet. But it looked like they sooner or later following some shit that nobody ain't telling them to follow, including the prophet. Now, whenever they need a hadith so they can justify some bullshit, they're going to make one up. And say it was from a trustworthy source. Well, why ain't nobody ever read this motherfucker?
Well, the thing is, they weren't expecting us to read in period. That's the thing. A lot of stuff you can read, the numbers, the timelines, everything else is right there in our face. We don't do, like you said, the due diligence of reading and trying to comprehend what's really putting out there. Even when we talk about this, Kanye's right. It's deeper than just saying Kanye's right. It's deeper than just the little thing they wear in their head. It's deeper than the little fake sideburns. Who did it better? You know, I'm not trying to compare myself or put myself on the scale with none of them. That's a copy of a copy, which ain't never gonna come out right. You feel me? I'm trying
They
to tap
always got
into.
shit fucked up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to tap into. Well, everybody's trying to ignore the esoteric part or saying like that's something. I just feel like, even like I said, going back to this, that's something about the imprint on us. You know what I'm saying? And when you were talking about the feds versus the feds versus the feathers, and it's just certain things I put together. Now, with what we know now, there's certain stones I wouldn't like. All that sacrifice shit, that shit is dead. All that damn getting rid of the poor righteous teachers, or that this ain't that age for that. They had their
Yeah,
age, but vice versa.
the
Yeah, that's
declaration been made. No longer shall the righteous suffer for the indignations of the wicked. You can no longer offer the blood of the righteous to redeem you from your wickedness. Enlil accept that shit. Inky, I-9, nor 2 Hootie accept that shit. Right? So Inky and I-9 are leaving after the coronation. Enlil punk asses are indisposed. Right? So that just leaves Tahuti here, Thoth, and he not accepting no motherfucking sacrifices. You won't sacrifice the righteous blood because under the old law, the righteous blood should not be spilled in vain. But under the new law or under the new regime, the rule is no longer shall the righteous suffer for the indignation of the wicked. Every motherfucker that do the dirt shall reap the harvest of the dirt they done themselves. They shall not pawn it off on another. That's where I'm at with it. So if they want to push it off on somebody else, go. You can try it. That shit definitely gonna backfire in multiples of 1,000 because it's been declared at the beginning of the new age. The Aquarian age is not an age where we're gonna be accepting blood sacrifices of the righteous, and that's just the way it is. And anybody who's planning on being here need to learn that and learn it quick.
I think the ones that gonna know they're the ones that's gonna know. Commenting, yeah, but yeah, OG, I know we had a couple things on currency. I say, all hail SikApe, all hail SikApe.
Yeah,
I say, guys,
I say.
It ain't over
it's so.
till the soul get here.
I say,
Look, you see, I got mine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
all hail SikApe. I know tonight I wanted to speak on the a couple things. One of the things is I'm in Mississippi. I'm not really on Mississippi on a social visit per se, or because family they got some other stuff going on in Mississippi. So I'm gonna throw this out here. Yeah, I'm doing some. I just went to the Mississippi River the other day, did a little thing. I'm trying to upgrade some ways of thinking. And I'm gonna throw this out here real quick. We got 216 people plus ourselves, right? I'm gonna throw this out here right now. When we fight this law system, we not fighting with words no more. We ain't fighting with hands, none of that. We fighting with these herbs. And I'm throwing this as free gems, free money. Like people charge you for this. Black mustard seed and black poppy seed. Black mustard seed, black poppy seed. That seal in every courtroom, that seal on every badge. If you keep black mustard seed and poppy seed every time, keep it closed, tight. But every time you see that, you throw it. If you go into the courthouse and just try it, black mustard seed, black poppy seed, take it into the courts and throw it in the courts. You will fuck up that whole turbulence. Don't take my word for it, case 0146. But I had to come down here because they just killed another child. And that's just I'm from Gulfport. That's normal. I ain't about to get out there and talk too much about it because I'm from Gulfport. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Florida, but I was raised in Gulfport, so we know what it's hitting for. They do this every couple of years because we down here with something called the Dixie Mafia. And the Dixie Mafia is it is what it is. Like I say, because we didn't know what we know now. I got too much juju for them now, and that's why they don't want to come back to Mississippi. But that's why I'm here. I'm hollering at some big mamas, talking to them. I'm hollering at some strong brothers and sisters or whatever, all the way back and forth to New Orleans. And I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, Florida, New Orleans, Mississippi, all that was one, and it still is one if we want to take it back to that. Because like I said, we never surrendered, and as you see, we not dead. So I really want to.
They stole my land, but I keep seeing it every time I look out the window.
Right. So, but I'm gonna say this, kind of like I think I was telling y'all, you have to understand and understand. Right now, they desperate, right? So I was talking to OG, and I was telling him earlier today, everything that you have been speaking out, and I went back and I've been watching your videos since 2018. It's all coming to fruition. Like the receipts is receiving. Like anybody saying, well, where the receipts is in the news every day. So It's already been game over. And I mean, this is on a global scale. So whether it's been OG Rod, whether it's Divine Insight, whether it's been Kylie, whoever it is that you can listen to or follow, all of the information is coming through. So, and it's and like me, obviously, I'm from an astrologer galactic level. So to me, when I'm looking at stars, I read it like a newspaper. So they're trying to do different things, like you said, because they used to the old ways where they could do blood sacrifices and the shit ain't working. And they not understanding and they fighting for their life, but the fight over. And like today, obviously, was the blood moon lunar eclipse. They even tried to plan and push back. But you see what's happening in Brazil. If you haven't been saying what's happening in Brazil, that's an Oshun pool down there, what's going on in Brazil. You see a hurricane coming in or get ready to come through in Florida. That's from Oshun Yemiya, Mommy Water Pool. If you over here and you see, you know, the energy that's going on, all of this stuff is galactic. And what you understand, the house of Taurus is the house of financial security, stability, and finance. And what it is it hits Uranus. So if you know what Uranus is, the great awakener, the sudden change. And Taurus is about structure. I don't want to move. I don't want to go nowhere. What it's saying, I don't give a fuck what you want. This shit is moving, it's going, this shit is done, it's over. And Scorpio coming in to knock it out. And it hits the opposing of the sun, which is the over planet, masculine energy, Mercury, communication, and the south node, which is the direction you are to go no more. So it opposes all that. And so where Uranus and where Taurus is the north node, which is the direction we are to go. And it also was hitting as far as in the moon. And then Uranus is the great awakening. So it's saying I'm having a whole electric, and it's almost like a double contundra, really almost a triple. So you got eclipse, which is and a full moon, which is double, and it shows shaking shit up. They don't know what to do. And like I was kind of telling y'all, from March 7th, because just like we got natal charts, America, or really it's Britain, because we know that they're all colonies, has their natal chart too. The day that they claim their birth is coming to fruition, and their fruition and their chart is hitting on March 7th, 2023, and March 23rd, 2023, with the Pluto in Aquarius and Saturn in Pisces return. What that means basically is all that shit is done. That Pluto Aquarian shit ain't happened. This ain't no once every 3 years, like when you say, oh, Mercury in retrograde, my stuff is messed up, I can't. No, this is, I'm shutting all your shit down, like over.
Okay.
And that's why the money system going. That's why that 10-foot wall that went up in the Federal Reserve. That's why when you say DC is permanently closed, this shit is permanently motherfucking closed. This bitch ain't opening up. I don't even know why. It's CGI. This shit is not real.
Phoenix, what day did we switch into Taurus?
Well, we're actually in Scorpio, but we switched to Taurus. That Taurus is in April, but I'm saying from the eclipse energy, this is, you know, because when you have
I'm just trying to slow you down so the people that's watching, because I was keeping up, but I was saying, because it was kind of hard for me to keep up. So when it's hard for me to keep up, I got to slow you down. It's because a lot of the people be like, what's he talking about? So the energy that we read.
Okay, so the paper we reading is, when you can say basically the energy we moved in is when Scorpio season started. So that's when these eclipses, and really actually it kind of started moving in April when we started moving to the Taurus Scorpio eclipses. That's when this energy really started.
When you say Taurus Scorpio eclipses, can you explain that a little bit?
So eclipses, in layman's terms, is beginnings and endings. It's when you have the sun, so the solar energy, and the moon. I'm trying to put it in layman's terms. Basically, it's eclipses, it's portals, openings, gateways, doorways. So if you have anybody used to listen to Divine Insight, when you say rainbows are portals or gateways or openings, that's astrologically. We know that we're not just on Earth. Like, we know beings is in here. So they're here. Like, I don't know no other way to say it. Like, they are here. And the portal.
Right, we already got that. I'm trying to get you slow down enough for the people to be able to keep track with when the energy shifted. How the energy, what does it mean when it's shifted? What do it look like in the 3D? So I was just taking you step by step.
Okay, so
we going into Taurus, Scorpio eclipses, and now we have a eclipse and the blood moon on the same in the zodiac sign of Scorpio.
And the year of the tiger. This is the year of the black tiger as well.
The year of Shango, which is Shango's energy.
With the big year 6, year of Shango. That's why I said, because we talk to you all the time, I'm already with you because you've been prepping me on this for some years now. But it's just like, the year of Shango, the year 6, you know what 6 is, I know what 6 is. 6 came to do what we gonna do, destroy and rebuild. Right. We're gonna flip it, like you say, flip 180 flip south, 180 flip north, right? 72 each way around. So that's a 3, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, boom. But this is the year Shingo. Let's start there. This is the year Shingo. Hold on.
And I thought somebody put Mars retrograde in Gemini. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
another
and
energy that's
everybody's
going
saying
on. It's
Taurus.
so much
Taurus is
energy
money.
going on right now. Yeah.
Taurus is the bull. That's why. And when you're talking about stocks, you're looking at the bull and the bear. Taurus is money. By being Scorpio, that's money, but it's also just as quick as it is to reward you. Because my mother's a Scorpio. Just as quick as it is to reward you, it's also as quick to punish you. As you see, there will be blood on this, like anything with a tiger, there's blood. Anything with a scorpion, there's going to be attacks. Shango, there's attacks, but it's strategic. It's political. Shango is political. So I'm sorry.
It's also harmonic, right? Because Scorpio is all or none, right? So it's not no hiding, it's not no grays. And kind of also when you look at Taurus scorpionic energy, it's if you haven't been doing right, so whether it's eating right, whether you haven't had your energy, it's the Anubis energy. Think about it, light as a feather. It's weighing of the heart, right? So we are literally in Anubis energy of the weighing of the heart. So if your shit ain't been right, that's why, like, if y'all been seeing videos online where they're saying kids was in school and it seemed like they're falling out, whether you want to say it's because of the shot or the energy, no, the DNA is upgrading. So when people were saying about eating right, I'm not saying people have to all be vegan or whatever, but the energy in the crystalline DNA and the weighing of the heart, the Anubis energy is on the planet. Like,
consequences.
So
yeah.
let me go
The
into
consequences.
a little bit of the Anubis energy. So you know the Mexican hairless dog, the Zoloto, right? That's not the jackal that they tell us from Egypt. It's the dog from Mexico, right? When Anubis comes with Tahuti, they call it the brothers of destruction,
Right.
right? Because the father Osiris is followed by a black dog. The great father is followed by the black dog. And the black dog is Canis Major,
Yes.
right? But the black dog is followed by a puppy because right behind it is Canis Minor, right? So that's a three parent lineage on the father line. So Tubal Cain. Okay, what that means is it's a father, a son, and a grandson all working to be righteous to the same degree. So we come across in the translation of the stars is the great father walks with a black dog and the black dog comes with a puppy. Right? Because Canis Major is followed by Canis Minor, and Canis Major is on the heels of Osiris, or as we call him, Orianos. Right? So his belt is the three sisters.
Yep.
Right? He used the three sisters to flip the mother line. But if the three sisters pick the son, then they bump the son to a four-corner shuffle. That flipping to the other side of the star system. Because the Tubal Cain in the four-corner shuffle is the seven sisters of the Pleiades. The Pleiadian seal. And the Pleiadian seal, as above, so below, is the La Palma Islands. Right? What we call the Canary Islands. And the Canary is the first in the motherfucking cave when the mining expedition go on, because they the most sensitive. So when the seven sisters seal you, you seal for sure. And when the father line flip you off a Tubal Cain for the mother line to give you a four-corner shuffle, they validating who you is by not even telling you nothing, because they're doing it in your face behind your back. Now, when you were saying you went to some of my old videos, remember, I said when the energy grid start to shift and the energy start to upgrade, and Big Mama turn their mitochondrial off.
Yep,
Remember
you did.
I said that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said they're going to come up with every excuse to tell y'all why these motherfuckers is just dropping dead, but they really not going to be able to tell you the truth.
Because you talked about that mitochondrial DNA. You sure did.
So that was what, 2018?
That was 2018.
So we in 2022. So that's at least 2.5 years. So I was telling them 2.5 years ago that they're gonna cut when the mitochondria starts to get shut off. They're not gonna have an explanation. What's the cause of sudden adult death syndrome?
I don't know. Talk to me. Tell me.
They don't got no cause of
They
death.
don't have one.
I want to say it, but like I said, I got a couple of my other pages blocked already. But consequences. We're going to say consequences. Because you didn't listen, because you didn't use rational sense. What common sense? Rational sense. You let motherfucker play with you like a guinea pig. Right? You know what I'm saying? So
it ain't that. Before that shit even came about, I said this.
It's the crystalline. It's the crystalline. Like it's the.
Now that could be a contributing factor to some of the cases, but it was going to happen anyway. Just
I
like
believe. I believe.
some of the ones running around calling themselves gods, and didn't do that self work and didn't get that dirt and no good rightness out of it.
That shadow work is a
They gonna be
requirement.
trying to beat Big Mama out their head by running their head into the walls.
It's the cleanup. It's the cleanup. That's why everybody not gonna go. It's a lot of people not gonna go. I'm telling you, it's the cleanup.
You know what's funny? I'm glad you said that part. I'm sorry.
My thing is, if they over 12, kill them all.
Yep.
If they over 12, kill them all. We'll start with the youth.
That's what they. Yep.
OG, I ain't gonna lie. She said some real stuff. She was like, everybody ain't gonna make it, but for the ones that do, right? I'll be on some aces and places stuff. I'm real big on black economics. We've been talking about this for years as well. And one of the places we can start is funding our own. If we're saying that we're at war, then funding the soldiers, funding the shit that the people need, fund the centers, fund all this type of stuff. And when I'm saying funding, it ain't always about money. I think we should all, like the same way we said back in the day, each one teach one. There's all of us out here talented and stuff. Brick masons, teachers, hair stylists, everything, bro. You know your art. You know your. I really want to just get to a point where, especially since you got so many people that just love you, get people to sign up for a situation where they're offering talent, they're offering their God-given abilities and stuff like that, or what they do or bring to the collective. You see what I'm saying?
They don't have to here in a minute, because just like when I sent the thing about the Bitcoin, like we talked about the Federal Reserve, in a minute, this whole thing's going to come down crashing. You know, we've been told. I mean, people are prepared for the fiat thing, but I'm going to tell you what a lot of people aren't prepared for is this crypto thing. A lot of people in the conscious community have invested in crypto because they were ill-advised, and this shit should be shut down, I'm telling you. So they're going to be coming running, and they're going to have to barter. They're going to have to trade. They're going to have to use gifts, talent, skills, and abilities amongst one another and amongst tribes. And my thing and the message that the spirit and the ancestors told me to make sure I conveyed is one, be prepared, because a lot of us aren't prepared, but most importantly, not to fall into a spirit of depression, because I'm telling you, like, I really sense it and I see it, because a lot of people, I'm saying within the conscious community, they've invested a lot of money preparing and thinking, I'm ready for this when this fiat fall and this shit gonna come down. So they're going to do it because they're not going to have but a choice to do it. They are, because we're going to have the nation build. That's it.
So what we don't realize is we've been building a nation in a nation the whole goddamn time. They thought we was dead.
Yeah.
They thought we was laying down and that we wasn't learning nothing from history. They didn't think none of us paid attention to Marcus Garvey. They didn't think none of us paid attention to Du Bois. They didn't think none of us paid attention to Booker T. Washington or Carter G. Woodson. They absolutely forgot about Malcolm. They thought we were some scared to death ass Negroes that wasn't going to listen to Malcolm, and that we was only going to listen to Martin until that nigga got militant. Then they decided we're going to kill this nigga to show them motherfuckers not to stand up. But they thought that what none of us paid attention. I'm going to tell you this. Elijah Muhammad's job was to build us a military.
Right.
The tribes, the tribal leaders is to make the noise for your tribe and where you at.
Peace and harmony on you. Bye.
He said he puts peace and harmony on everybody.
Thank you.
Go back to bed, dude.
That's my lady. Now that's a little warrior. That's a little young guy. That one right there. I told you, that one right there. That one right there. He's fish.
But I don't know if that's gonna be feasible, because we probably gonna want somebody else on the dollar. We probably ain't gonna want no people. We probably gonna want to use totem animals or something. I'm on the $50 bill. King motherfucker Kong, Gorilla Gride, GD Ride up this motherfucker.
Yeah, this is
Big 50 in the house.
This is X Raw, his thoughts in Alabama Riverfront Brawl. I think you're talking about that when they fight on that boat. I think that's what he's talking about. That boat.
That's exactly what they're talking about. You know, Treaty of the Hat. He threw his hat in the air.
Yeah.
Right. It's the Treaty of the Hat. It's the war call.
Yeah, why would they? Yeah, I wonder why they promoted that shit like it was just some kind of.
So you would go Google. So you would go to Google and type in Treaty of the Hat. You got to remember, they broke every treaty. They never honored one because they didn't think that we was gonna ever figure out who we is and hold them to the reality that they fraudulently created contracts under false pretenses. Half of the treaties were signed with $5 Indians that ain't from here.
Right, that's
They
right.
brought them with them and dressed them up like us with feathers and shit, our ceremonial garb that we wear for Mardi Gras. They put that on them motherfuckers like we wear that shit everywhere we go.
That's right.
We dress up for Mardi Gras all
That's
over the
true.
country.
That's true. That's true.
All of a sudden we forget that we dress up for Mardi Gras. We finna celebrate this shit. This is hostile takeover. This is the getting rid of the corporate fiction from off the land. The war already been being fought. While y'all was sitting here watching this Biden fiasco and the Ukraine fairy tale story, the war already been being fought guerrilla style and guerrilla warfare all over the world.
Right.
All you got to do is look up the forest fires. Why in the fuck is it that many goddamn forest fires?
Right.
Because those people who was making all that money, they was hiring and training private military. They was buying boys from China and Korea and as little boys and raising them up to know nothing but war. Right? So they had to be annihilated. If you wasn't one of them, you was the automatic enemy. When they send you up, when they send them out, they come out and tear shit up. Them they sleeper agents. They was getting other kids in other parts of the world doing this Jason Bourne shit on them.
Right. So the white people, like somebody say, like it's gonna be a war, but like a civil war or a racist war between whites and blacks. See, that's the game that they playing. The white and black.
That
game.
was part of that was part of the divide and conquer strategy.
Right.
Because if you know American history for real, you would know that before there was one slave over here, it was pale faces walking around on the land with us.
Right.
Right. How do you think Maman Brigitte got into the pantheon of the Orisha? She a red-haired white girl.
Go ahead.
Right? How did she get there? Because we already had people of high mystic value coming from all over the world to learn here. This is the great metropolis of learning. Whatever you do over here, if you don't do nothing else, learn something.
That's right.
Right? So now at the end of these conclusions, what have we learned? The local government is the most important government to reclaim because that's how the people in the community take back their community. And if enough of us take back our community, we can meet the needs of the community better because it's in the hands of the people who live there. A lot of these communities was redlined and X'd out because we had nobody from the community who understood what was going on in the community and said, oh, they don't need nothing, they ain't asking for nothing. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. So by taking back the local government, by organizing a new city council, overthrowing the old one, the legal fiction, they'll let you go, they'll get out your way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We did several videos on that. Because local government is the only control you truly have. That federal shit, that shit made up. That's a circus.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dog and pony show to keep you deluded as to what's going on in your face. What purpose do politicians serve? They don't write no motherfucking law. They get the law that was written from a motherfucking group of lawyers in a room somewhere.
It's just about money to me.
That's all it is.
What is money gonna get advocated to? That's all they do.
Right. So they come in and they criminalize what's natural to the people to make the people a natural criminal. Wow. Pay attention. Wow. The things that you do naturally, smoke marijuana, smoke cigarettes, right? They put restrictions and bans on it. So that's gonna make you be they automatically belligerent to you.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. Make your natural culture illegal, and then you know what I'm saying. So you got to do what you naturally do. They can now bastardize you and criminalize you for doing
Yep.
what you naturally did on your land. Like with Bob Marley. Bob Marley, he's a Rastafarian, so in his religion he can smoke, right? So I think he had came over to America with a certain amount of marijuana, a couple pounds, I think, and they arrested him, but they had to let him go eventually because they said that it was part of his religion. He had like 5 pounds or something. It was crazy, right? At the airport and shit. Yeah, so like, so it is protection for indigenous people in the Indigenous Rights Act.
Right.
That,
so
right?
the Indigenous Rights Act is not a law, and they're not law. Okay. What they is a descriptive analysis of at what part of them resisting our culture are we at. So they telling us in the Indigenous Rights Acts, if we follow our own culture, oral traditions, be self-determining, and prove it, right? Yeah. Then they gonna get out our way.
So that's all we gotta do.
That's all it means.
We gotta self-determine. Be self-determined, man.
Yeah. So that's what's the problem with Baba. The problem with Baba is he was setting up the structure back up. He was reforming the community and buying up land.
Go ahead.
Right? That became belligerent to the system because he would start automatically going back to our tribal culture.
Right.
Right? So they take him out to bust the tribe up. Right? So now that get him a little bit longer to play their game.
Yeah, because it was almost over for him, man, right then.
Yeah, Baba had him in the headlock. The entire record of the United Nubian Nations and more gonna be a bad mofo when he put it out.
Oh yeah.
Because remember, Let's Set the Record Straight was just the excerpt from it.
Yeah. See, look, it's some stuff that Baba didn't get a chance to. Yeah, but see, we working on some of it right now, man. We just ain't talking about it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, Chief, what needs
I was reading the question.
Okay. Hey, keep on real quick.
It's really literally about how aware are we of our culture. And some people over here did ancestry do trace back to Africa. But the tribes that was already here is the ones we focused on. And we don't have no problem with nobody as long as they don't try to interfere with us restoring the matriarchy and rebuilding the clans' tribal rights, restoring the tribal rights back to the clans, right? We can clean the streets up in a week. We can stop the violence in a day. But you can't do none of that when your enemy is ruling over you, causing these things to transpire on purpose, and we not doing nothing to stop them. The internet is just a tool, people. It's like a wrench in a toolbox. And I don't be on here all day, every day, contrary to popular opinion. But I do know what I'm talking about. And I do know that the entirety of this shit show is about to come to a grand finale real soon.
Right. That's right. Says what about an article? That's interesting. That's my first time hearing that.
Look, America never honored a treaty, nowhere. All of their position of treaty power was predicated up on a constructed fraud. All of the treaties for the corporation known as America is canceled. It's just bankrupt and defunct. No longer operational. We need to start looking at what is it going to be like when we get back into the position to reap the benefit of the resources that we produce from our labor and from our land.
Right.
Right. So whether you think I'm a chief on the internet or not, it don't matter to me. Only thing matter to me is I put it in the public domain, right? That what takes place is according to procedure.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm doing is showing y'all the receipts for what I'm talking about, so y'all can have a clear understanding of what I'm saying. Because sometimes I sound neurotic, but I know exactly what I be saying. But it be so far-fetched to a person that's conditioned to doing something one way that it sounds like it's wrong or that it's crazy. But that's only because you fighting your conditioning, not what I'm showing you, because I'm showing the receipts.
Right. Right. Shit, who is they? Who has surrendered our stuff? Oh yeah, she was saying, Ben. She must just count on, Rod. They look like us, but they ain't us. The large
Yeah. So, like I was telling them earlier, we already seized 650 airplanes full of gold from the Vatican. We seized the World Bank and International Monetary